everyone, welcome back to my live streams. Thank you as always for coming to these live streams. I do them every day at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on this channel, Monday through Friday. We go through different entertainment news, movie news, TV news, breaking down what's new in Hollywood. I'm also updating you guys on the strikes. I'm updating you guys on the AI situation with Hollywood as AI threatens to take over the industry. So we have a lot to get over today. There's some really sad news. A few really famous people died today, so we're going to start with that off the top. But then after that, we also have some other more fun, lighthearted news to go over, such as MrBeast joining Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. Also, we have some weird Barbenheimer backlash in Japan to talk about. So yeah, we have a lot of, a wide range of things to discuss today. How's everyone doing? Hi, Soggy Concha. Hi, Motion Going. Hi, Ella Louise. Hi, Easton Plays. Thank you, everyone who is here. Hi, Prince. Hi, CD Woods. Hi, Evan Bergdorfer. Hi, Editing Geek. Hi, Oscar. Hi, Koharu. Yeah, just hi, everyone who continues to show up every week. Hi, Amy. Hi, Glitch Motion. Hi, Sunset Draws. All right. Hi, Jimin. Okay. So let's just jump into the first news story of the day, which, as I said, is a sad one. And it's, of course, that Angus Cloud of Euphoria has sadly passed away. If you don't know who this actor is, he played Fezco on Euphoria, so it's a very popular show that's on HBO. Very, very popular with young adults and teens specifically. So this comes as a huge, huge blow. I mean, he was very, very young. He was only 25. That's very tragic, very heartbreaking. Honestly, it's very, very sad. And according to Angus's family, who released a statement, last week he buried his father and intensely struggled with this loss. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Oh, that's tragic. Angus was open about his battle with mental health, and we hope that his passing can be a reminder to others that they are not alone and should not fight this on their own in silence. That's very, very, very sad. I know. Again, this is why mental health is so important. I think we should all be talking about it more. I think they haven't really released too many specific details on exactly how he died yet, but it sounds like it might be he might have hurt himself. I can't say the full word because of YouTube censorship, but you know what that means. It sounds like he took his father's death really hard, and it just affected him mentally. Yeah, it's very, very, very sad. Does anyone watch Euphoria? Does anyone personally feel really affected by this because you're a huge Euphoria fan, or you just have anything you want to say about him? RuPaul Drag Race Superfan says, just end Euphoria. Okay, I don't want to see a season without him. Yeah, I know it's going to be very, very odd to see the show come back without him. Obviously, that's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing is just about Angus. But it is, I feel like the show's already been delayed a number of years. I wouldn't be surprised if that next season just either doesn't come out at all or that's the last one. Oh, the chat is broken on screen. Just notice you're right. The chat is not moving. I don't know why that is. So ignore that. I'll just take that down. Soggy Concha says, haven't watched it, but it's still sad. I know, it is very, very sad. Kisaki says, I don't watch the show, but it's sad to see someone so young die. I know, it really is. Joe Rod says, he was/is such a real one. I looked up to him and just can't believe he's gone. I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. I know, he played Fezco, Jimin. I don't know what else to say. It's just, mental health is very important, and I hope that his family have the space to grieve, and I hope that, maybe if the show does come back, maybe they don't glorify drug use as much as they currently do. Maybe they'll talk about the seriousness of it. Black Guy says, honestly, I feel this role in Euphoria may have something to do with it. He was battling with drugs and he's a dealer in the show. Yeah, it sounds like just from just personal gossip that I've heard about this show. It does sound like a number of cast members have like similar issues in real life. So, again, I wonder if the show does come back. I hope that they address it, but we'll see. Again, it's really sad. I feel bad for the entire family. That's two major losses back to back. I know it is terrible. And he's not the only one. We had actor Paul Rubens, who also sadly passed at the age of 70 after battling cancer. If you're not sure who this actor is, he's best known for playing Pee Wee Herman. I have never seen anything Pee Wee Herman, but the character itself is so iconic. I'm very at least familiar or aware of the character, so I know he had a big impact on a lot of people. And he left a note knowing that he was gonna die, which is really tragic. He left a note to the public. This is the note. It says, please accept my apology for not going public with what I've been facing for the last 6 years. I have always felt a huge amount of love and respect from my friends, family, and supporters, or fans and supporters. I have loved you all so much and enjoyed making art for you. That's really, I mean, the fact that he knew that he was on his deathbed and he left that note for people is really, really sad. But yes, anyone who was a big fan of Pee Wee Herman who wants to speak up or say anything, again, I'm not very familiar with the show itself, but again, it's always sad when you see big iconic figures die. I know, it's awful. Seems like not many of you knew yet. Brianna Does Art says, you don't have to do all caps to get Brittany to read your messages, guys. Thank you, Brianna. Oh, Motion Going says, no, bro, I watched him growing up. He was my childhood. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's gone but not forgotten, though. I think he'll long be remembered. Both him and Angus Cloud. Any other thoughts on both of these people before I move on? Glitchmation says, cancer is a big thing that happened to people. I honestly never watched Pee-wee, but it's sad. Yeah, it's very sad. Honestly, F cancer. Moving on to a slightly more lighter note thing going on. We have some weird, very, very weird, like, Barbenheimer backlash brewing in Japan for some reason. Apparently, the Warner Brothers Japan, so the official headquarters of Warner Brothers in Japan, is upset that the Barbie movie is, like, helping to feed into the Barbenheimer memes, because they feel like it makes light of what happened with, in World War II with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And just looking at some of the things that the Barbie movie, like the official Barbie movie Twitter account, replied to, I just think it's kind of, I mean, obviously I understand, like, Japan is, like, very sensitive about this subject, but I think to get, like, this upset over just replying to very basic memes, I don't know. Because look at this. All the Barbie movie said in relation to this poster here, which is a very common Barbenheimer poster, was, it's going to be a summer to remember. And then they got hit with a community post saying, like, oh, don't forget that this day in history was also awful. It's like, oh, okay. So everyone can partake in the Barbenheimer thing, but not the official Barbie movie account? And this is another one that I thought was kind of, like, a little silly to go that far about it. So this one just said that their dad, if it will load, yeah. This one just said that their dad, didn't understand the Barbenheimer thing, so they had to explain that to them. And they said, if you just photoshopped a mushroom cloud as Barbie's hair, it would probably go viral. And so that's what they did, and the tweet itself actually did go viral. And I think it's pretty funny, actually. The hair thing is clever. And all the Barbie movie responded to was, this Ken is a stylist. Like, the most benign, like, simple, like, very wholesome reply. Okay, so, like, not a big deal, right? And then Scott Mance on Twitter said, now that I've seen Barbenheimer, I highly recommend watching Barbie first, then Oppenheimer. Barbie is really fun, but Oppenheimer stays with you. You don't want to be thinking about Oppenheimer while watching Barbie. Or maybe you do. And again, all the Barbie movie said here was, you're always thinking pink. Like, that doesn't even really make sense in relation to what he just said. But, like, these are very, like, benign, like, simple things. But apparently it's causing, like, a bit of blowback against Barbie just because Barbie is so heavily tied to Oppenheimer now. I think that's, I don't know. What do you guys think? Motion Going says, it's a movie, people chill. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Jimin says, I wonder how it is to live such a miserable, death where you're just being so sensitive. Yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of people are just generally sensitive, like about everything. Everyone's upset. Like, I feel like since the pandemic, everyone's just kind of at a 10 or at least a 9, and they're ready to go to a 10 at any second. So, like, everyone's just kind of, like, highly sensitive about everything. That's at least from my perspective. And it's affecting entertainment, and it's affecting everything. But because I cover entertainment, this is how it affects our situation, our discussion. IAARPOTI says Barbie is going to hit billions of dollars. Oh, yeah. I saw a prediction that Barbie could potentially pass even Top Gun Maverick. Like, Barbie could make, potentially as much as like 1.4 billion, 1.5 billion. That's insane. Mr. Rabbit says Japan has had its own responses to, I'm not going to say the B word just because YouTube censorship has been crazy. So when I say B word, you know what I mean. Check out Godzilla and Akira. I don't know. Eat Movie says, out of respect, maybe hold back on all the Barbenheimer memes this week during the anniversary of Hiroshima. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. So they're trying to say this is the anniversary of Hiroshima. Well, if that's true, then Oppenheimer came out at a very awkward time. Maybe they did that on purpose to capitalize on it? That would be interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you, Eat Movies. Eat Movies also says, if the movie was about 9/11, think how we would feel. But the thing is, I don't think the movie is disrespectful about the situation. They're not, from what I understand, they're not really critiquing the movie itself. It's more of just like, I guess the Barbenheimer memes rub some people the wrong way, which is fine. But I don't think Japan should expect everyone to feel like they can't have fun with the Barbenheimer memes either. It's cool that they feel that way, but again, you can't police how people feel, is the crux of it. But anyway, moving on. Does anyone have any final thoughts on this? Prince says, no, they censorshiped Oppenheimer. I mean, they have every right to. Not even saying that they're wrong for that. I just think that they're a little wrong for getting mad at the Barbie movie for just making, like, very simple comments on Twitter. Jimin says, I understand both sides, but it was just a joke. And they weren't joking about the situation, just the meme. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I just said, Jimin. They weren't, it was just the meme that's the issue. Mr. Rabbit said tragedies are always marketable. Unfortunately, there's always going to be someone who's going to try to capitalize on a tragedy. Unfortunately. But yes, moving on. MrBeast, again, more light news. MrBeast is apparently going to star in the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. I think this is actually a bigger story than why it seems on the surface, which is why I put it on the thumbnail. Because, again, I think that we're starting to see more and more YouTubers cross over into the Hollywood space. Not just with on-screen talent, but also with, like, there's, like, a big sort of media war between influencers and like journalists, like actual entertainment journalists. So there's like just a general war between like the online media space and all the talent there, including on places like YouTube and Twitch, and Hollywood itself. And MrBeast has somehow been able to find himself kind of in both sides. And I think that's fascinating. I'm also wondering if the reason why the studios are announcing this, because it's probably just a small role, I'm wondering, oh, we have a super chat. I want to get to it before it goes away, so hold that thought. From Dane C, thank you so much for the super chat. The bombing of Japan was in response to Pearl Harbor. Yes, that is true. I'm not sure what you're trying to mean by that, but yes, that is how history happened. All right, thank you for the super chat. But going back to MrBeast, I think that he's building his own media empire, and I think, as we've talked about, how I think a lot of creativity and just production in general is going to become more and more independent. I think he kind of represents kind of where the whole industry is going. And so I just find this really interesting. What do you guys think about this? Does this increase your excitement that he's in the movie for those who might be MrBeast fans, or are you just completely indifferent? James Talks Movie says he's just playing an extra. Okay. So it's just like a cameo, basically. I know I said the B word. I'm trying not to say the B word, but as I'm reading it, it's like, it just came out. Dang it. I just hope. Because the thing is, like, YouTube censorship is so, like, just anything they'll try to demonetize you for anything if it just, they think you're talking about potentially something bad. And it's like, for me, I just feel like they've gotten very, very sensitive about it. So, like, my past several live streams in a row, they've tried to demonetize them. And all we talk about is movies, so I don't get it. Well, the only thing I can think of is that I'm saying the B words. That's why I'm trying not to say it. Okay, Easton Plays says, I saw it earlier. It's just a cameo. Okay, so it's just a cameo. But it does seem like he probably wants to move into movies more, which is interesting. Was his cameo at least good? CCG says, is MrBeast scabbing? Is he allowed to promote during the strike? Well, he's not promoting. This is just discussing film, saying that he's in it. If he were to promote it, then he would be scabbing. Okay, Jimin is only slightly interested to see it because he's in it. Alright. Is anyone here a big MrBeast fan or no? I just assumed someone would be because he has a massive audience. I'm hoping the new TMNT movie does well. I hope it does well too. I really like the art style, and I'm rooting for more innovation in art styles. Oh, Hidden Name is thinking the exact opposite. I hope it fails. Why do you hope it fails, Hidden Name? Brianna Does Art says, I watched it to watch it for the animation, not for him. Yeah, I think if I see it, it'll be mainly for the animation. Carlos Eduardo Mora says, Hollywood needed that internet shake on the industry. Before influencers, the artist job used to be mainly a career meant for the elite. Exactly. And now it seems like with more and more of these technological tools that are coming out, and we're going to talk about AI in a second, it just seems that it's becoming more and more easier for the average person to create, and that is going to be a problem for them long term. But moving on, we do have my member question of the day. Again, if you want to be a member, just click the member button at the bottom of the screen. You will get a shout out in all of my videos. Plus, I post a daily members only question where I will give you a personal shout out in my videos, as I'm about to do right now. So please consider joining and becoming a member to support the channel. Alright, so the member question of the day was, MrBeast has a small role in the upcoming TMNT movie. What do you think of YouTubers joining the film space, and what do you think of MrBeast in general? I have two answers from Natanya Mullings, who's also in the chat. Hi, Natanya. And Sagi Concha, who's also here. Thank you so much. Natanya said, I liked MrBeast, so I think it's cool he's in the movie. It depends on the YouTuber for acting roles. I think it's true. Obviously, as a YouTuber myself, I would love to do movies, so I would love YouTubers to have the opportunity to do movies. I have no problem with that. I just think it's interesting to observe the trend of it happening, just because that's the sort of thing that I find interesting. Sagi Concha says, if MrBeast voice acted a random character and he doesn't change his voice, he can be like the Chris Pratt Mario, where you don't hear the character's voice, you just hear the celebrity's voice, which is my problem with YouTuber voice acting. It's mostly the YouTuber not acting, and when their character is talking, it's brutally obvious it's just them reading a script. So interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, Soggy Concha. For those of you who have already seen the movie, does Mr. Beast change up his voice enough, or is the role too small to even notice? Because that would be interesting if he's just going to play himself all the time. Does he play himself? Is he cameoing as Mr. Beast? I want to know. Brianna Does Art says it definitely depends on the YouTuber. That's how I feel. Amy Aguilera says, I'll still wait for this movie on streaming, even though I'm excited that Mr. Beast is in it. He's my fave. So why are you still going to see it on streaming and not in theaters, though? That's very interesting. Amy, do you think that this movie seems more like a streaming movie and not a theatrical movie? That'd be very interesting if that was true. If so, why? Yes, Soggy Concha, you got a shout out. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas Wilson. Thank you so much for the super chat. Roll up. Why do people dislike Mr. Beast? I have no idea. Nicholas Wilson says it's embracing new media. It's a good thing. That's what I think. I think that it's just becoming more and more interesting that just because I'm a YouTuber and I'm on the online space, I kind of have like from the perspective of an influencer, there's a lot of like entertainment journalists who do this stuff professionally, that write for the trades, who write for like websites and stuff like that just really look down on people like us. And so to see someone like MrBeast kind of break the mold, I think is very, very interesting. And I'm happy that Hollywood is starting to embrace new media, even though it's very, very slow. But thank you for the super chat, Nicholas. CCG says certain actors have distinct enough voices that they don't need to change up their voice, like John Mulaney in Spider-Verse. That's a great point. Maybe Mr. Beast has such a great voice acting voice, he doesn't need to change it. Honestly, I wouldn't even know. I haven't heard his voice acting, so we'll see. Frankie Wants a Snack says Mr. Beast has given money to random guests in the past. He gives random money in every video. That's like his whole thing is just, please let me give you money. Before we move on from the Mr. Beast situation, does anyone have any final thoughts on the situation? Brianna Does Art says Corey Kenshin has a cameo in the FNAF movie, so it's happening more than just Mr. Beast. It's going to happen more and more. I think that's true. I think we're seeing Hollywood slowly, begrudgingly start to embrace new media, which is interesting. All right, moving on. Thank you again for those member questions. Now, something else we're also getting is a Spy Kids reboot. Okay, a Spy Kids reboot. Anyone interested in the Spy Kids reboot? I have to say, those Spy Kids movies were some of my favorite films as a kid. Those earlier like 2000s movies. I have so many memories of just watching those movies on repeat, especially Spy Kids 3D. I just got a huge kick out of the fact that it was all 3D and it was all like in my face. I even have like the DVD set for that movie where it came with 3D glasses. Good memories, good memories. So we just got a trailer for this and we have some new pictures. Sean Levi is in this. Shazam himself, he's playing the dad. So it's good that he's got more work. It's in Spy Kids, but at least it's more work. He's acting like he's totally jobless, so at least he's got one job. So yeah, it just looks kind of cute, kind of cheap, but then the original movies also looked really cheap, so can't really complain there. Anyone excited for the Spy Kids reboot? Oh no, some people are saying they don't want the Spy Kids reboot. Why not? Editing Geek says kid actors these days don't compare. Oh, you haven't even seen them act yet. Let's wait to see them act before we say they can't act. Also, the kid actors from the original weren't great either. We just have nostalgia-covered rose-colored glasses. Rulu Nuru says, if it will have bad CGI, I'm in. I know, it has to have the trademark bad CGI. If the CGI is actually good, I don't want it. James Talks Movies says, can't wait for the trash trailer. Oh, it's already up. I'm just not going to play it because Robert Rodriguez is very a stickler with copyright. So I'm not going to play it. So go look it up on your own. Maybe you'll be interested in it. Hashtag not my Spy Kids, says Alex. Why not? So it seems like the majority of you guys are completely writing this one off from the get-go. Because that's what it seems like to me. Mr. Rabbit says, unless they bring back the "Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created? I'm not interested." Yeah, that was a great line from the first one. That's a great point. Honestly, again, I don't know if it's just the nostalgia, but I think those earlier movies were actually pretty good. It's probably just nostalgia. I mean, wasn't the Spy Kids movies the one where they had like walking, talking thumbs or something? That was a little weird. I bet if I watched that now, I probably wouldn't think it was as good. Okay, Koharu thinks it's gonna be boring. It might be, it might be. Alright, moving on from this. We have our poster, new poster, from Netflix's live-action One Piece series. I know a number of you are very excited about it. I know I have a lot of anime watchers in my audience. So this one's for you. I'm actually very curious to watch it. I've never seen One Piece before, but I know that it's very popular and it's a very like well-known anime. Netflix has a lot of plans for this. Netflix wants One Piece to be like their next Stranger Things. They want One Piece to be their next major franchise. Actually, as of right now, Netflix thinks a lot of things could be their next Stranger Things because Stranger Things only has one more season. So they're trying to pump up a number of like really big franchises to replace it. That's why you're seeing a number of this kind of stuff. Also, like they're doing the live action, the Last Airbender stuff. They're also hoping that could be their next Stranger Things. So you're about to see Netflix try a lot of franchise stuff. So I don't know. How do you guys think of the poster? Koharu thinks it looks cheap. Oh no. Motion Going says stop reboots. We need original content. I'm with you guys. I'm with you. But right now there is so much just reboots in the pipeline. It's crazy. Editing Geek says they can never have another Stranger Things. Not never? You think they will never have another show that's as big as Stranger Things? That would be sad. That would be really sad for Netflix. And also just because I like how Stranger Things has become like a water cooler show where everyone talks about it. We don't have a lot of shows like that where it's like it feels like everyone's watching it. Stranger Things is one of those few shows where we have that still. So I kind of hope they do find another Stranger Things. I just don't know if it's going to be this movie, or this show. Sagi Concha says, people working at Netflix need to stop. The respiratory systems, who is asking for this? Oh my god, they need to stop their respiratory systems? What? Y'all are wild. That's another way of saying they need to unalive themselves. That's very creative, Sagi Concha. Eat Movie says Hollywood really has run out of ideas. So it seems like no one likes this poster. Oh no. Okay, I mean, Wednesday and Squid Games are the other Stranger Things. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're getting more seasons of Squid Game. They keep saying they are, but there has been no movement on it. Wednesday, yes. Wednesday is also huge. That could be their next Stranger Things. Kizaki says they keep canceling shows that could become their next Stranger Things. That's a good point. Netflix cancels so many of their shows. Like after season 3, if it's a really big hit, they usually cancel a show. So they don't allow their shows to grow into mega hits. That's a great point. Alright, moving on. Now, if you guys watched my live stream from yesterday, I highly recommend you go back and watch it because I gave my review for the Haunted Mansion. And so if you want more in-depth thoughts on what I thought about the movie, please go back and watch that. But there's something else I didn't mention in my review that I think I really should have. And that's the fact that one of the reasons I really didn't like that movie, not too many spoilers here, so don't worry. It's just product placement. If you care about spoilers on product placement, you're probably on the wrong channel. But it's just the fact that this movie had like 12 different commercials in it. It was like every other scene, there was a character that was like, oh, I'm going to this store, or I'm using this product. And they would name drop everything by, like, they would basically name dropped everything. And it's like, I just felt like half the movie was a commercial. And this person, like, very, very nicely kind of typed it all up in one document of all the product placement that's in this movie. And it's kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to read all of it. But I'm just showing you how ridiculous the product placement in that movie was. So the first one, Rosario Dawson says she bought the Haunted Mansion on Zillow. Yes, that's one of the things she mentions. She's like, oh yeah, casually I bought this on Zillow. It's like it's all the characters, they constantly bring up products exactly that casually. It's kind of almost like the Truman Show where they just incorporate the product placement into the dialogue. If you guys have seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I just found it a little bit kind of crazy. Um, for Disney must really love the product placement money, said Shannon. I mean, they clearly must have. I feel like all these products paid for half the movie. Because there's another one where it says that, oh yeah, they have a Black Panther action figure, which, of course, that one's a bit normal, because at least Disney also owns Marvel. But then they also mention how, like, they go to CVS, how, they mention, like, the brand name of a specific drink. They have all these, like, name jobs of Baskin Robbins, Burger King, Yankee Candles, Amazon, Fuji Digital. It was just nonstop craziness. The whole movie was just like, here's this product placement, here's this product placement. And I just like, I don't know. I've never seen, I know it's very normal for movies to put product placement in their movies, but I've never seen it done to this degree in Haunted Mansion like that. It was just felt like a walking, talking ad. It was really terrible. Yeah, Brianna, Disney is selling out. I hate to see it. I loved Disney growing up. I was a huge Disney fan, and just how far they've fallen is it's really sad. So I just wanted to point that out because that was something else I didn't mention in my review that really should have been mentioned as another reason why I didn't like the movie. It was just nonstop product placement. To the point where it was so obvious it took me out of the movie. Soggy Concha says, oh no, I was kind of planning to watch it even after your review, but if it's product placements throughout the movie, I might not even watch it when it's on Disney+. Yeah, yeah. It's not a spoiler review, it's a non-spoiler review, Banana, so you can watch it. But yeah, that pretty much spells up a lot of my issues with this film. It just felt very bland, very corporate, very made by committee, and felt like it was made to sell products and sell the Disney World so you can go ride the ride. Like that's what the movie felt like. Just did not like it at all. All right. Moving on from the strike news moving on from the entertainment news. And we only have one bit of strike news for today, so not much, but it's very big strike news. And that's, we have our first actor who's a dissenter. We have our first actor to actually openly, publicly speak out against the strike. This is huge. It's Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow in the Arrow series. I don't know if anyone watched that CW show, but he played one of the popular DC characters on that network for many, many years. And he said that although he supports the union, he thinks it's a reductive negotiating tactic, basically striking, and that he finds the entire thing incredibly frustrating. So he doesn't think that they should be striking, and he's against the strike. This is the first SAG actor to openly go against the strike like this, so I think that's significant. And I wonder if this is going to start a tide of more and more actors being like, no, I don't support this strike. We shouldn't do this. What do you guys think about this? Do you agree with them? Does anyone think that the strike is also pointless? Because I disagree. I think that this strike, both the SAG strike and the WGA strike, this is the most important time to go on strike ever. With the AI stuff and how quickly it's developing, and we're going to get to that next, they will never get another chance to negotiate a fair deal using AI. So they have to be on strike, because the studios want to use AI, and again, we're about to go into that. So they have to. I'm glad you guys are not agreeing with him. So most of you are saying he's absolutely trash. That's great. I'm gonna get rid of this chat. CD Wood says it's good to have different opinions. I agree. It's good to have different opinions. I can disagree with those opinions, as I do with this, but he's allowed to say what he thinks. Prince, oh, what a traitor. Someone is losing a role in SAG. That's interesting. I wonder if SAG would kick him out just for saying this. If SAG kicked him out of the union for saying this, then that would stop a lot of actors from talking against the strike. I wonder if that would happen. Kat also agrees. Yeah, the strike is absolutely necessary. Fully agree. Um, Danielle Lynn says, I think the strike is important because of AI. Yes, AI is the main thing, honestly. And again, we're about to go into why. Cheetah Viper says, I wonder who paid him to say that. Why do you think someone paid him to say that? Maybe that's just what he really thinks. If someone paid him to say that, I hope it was a lot, because he just risked his entire career. Brianna Desart says, I wonder if he actually said this or if they're twisting his words like they did with the Oppenheimer cast. Well, he called the strike a reductive negotiating tactic. I don't know how you can twist those words. Those are pretty damning words. CD Woods, we're not trashing him. I'm just telling you why I think he's wrong. Someone can have their opinion, but I can also have my opinion where I disagree. Latanya says, oh, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. Y'all, please keep it civil. Please keep it civil in the comments. Again, we can all have different discussions here, but we also don't have to agree either. CCG says he will get points from studios to say that. Maybe. But then if he angers his union, I don't know. Will it be worth it? Will this hurt his career at all? That'd be really interesting to see. Alright, moving on from the strike news, getting into the AI news, because that's what this is really kind of mostly about. Moving on. Now, I did mention a few live streams ago that a lot of the major studios are currently already looking to hire a number of AI experts in the field. And I just wanted to break down a little bit more of what I mean, because I didn't realize just how bad this was. When you actually look up some of the job descriptions of what these people are doing, like they're outright basically saying we're looking at ways to make AI replace actors and writers, and it's pretty bad. So I already mentioned how Disney is hiring like 6 to 7 AI experts to basically go in and try to scab during the strikes. But it's not just them. Netflix has a number of AI-focused jobs, apparently. Amazon and Apple have dozens of AI jobs, even ones that are focused on their media business. And according to one person who works for Prime Video, so that whole streaming service, their goal is to define the next big thing in localizing content. Enhancing content or making it accessible using state-of-the-art generative AI and computer vision tech. And the base salary is $300,000. So these are like really high paying like scientific researcher jobs. And these are what they're looking for. Literally looking to use generative art to be part of the filmmaking process. Sony Pictures is also looking to hire an AI ethics engineer as they incorporate AI into their studios. They said that they believe researching and developing AI techniques empower imagination and creatives, which, I mean, that's debatable. Their aim is to advance AI so that it augments and works in harmony with humans to benefit society. Now, here's the thing. I am not a Luddite. I think that AI is coming and there's very little that we can do about it. But I think at the same time, we need to find a way to incorporate AI without absolutely destroying so many people's livelihoods and jobs. Because AI is going to be used by basically anyone. China's going to use AI, other studios, entertainment industries are going to use AI. So what's going to happen is, say, Hollywood never uses AI for any of their movies, but other countries do. That means other countries will be able to make and film movies at a pace that humans have never been able to do before in all sorts of languages. So it puts the Hollywood entertainment industry at a disadvantage to not use AI, which is why they're so dead set on using it. But at the same time, I think they don't just want to use it as a tool. I think they very clearly want to use it to replace people, and that's my issue with it. Soggy Concha says, not AI ethics being a job for a studio. I know that kind of seems like an oxymoron, doesn't it? Oscar Sevilla says, the irony with this result in an AI company that makes movies which outperform real human studios. Honestly, an AI could probably take over a CEO's job more efficiently before they can do a creative's. Ah, that's true. Naomi just thinks AI sucks. Okay. CD Wood says it's so dumb for the companies to use AI to replace creative since they aren't creative or have any real thoughts and emotions. I think that's why they want to do it because so many of the executives that rule these studios now are just like MBAs who aren't creative people and don't really get the creative process. They just see the money. I think that's why they don't see an issue with any of this. Um, ARELLW says this is going to be a Hollywood depression. I think you're right. I think we're about to go into a Hollywood depression. I think that Barbenheimer was probably the last big hurrah for a really long time. Glitchmation says AI is not a job, it's money. Well, it's about to be both, unfortunately. Because again, talking more about it, here's one of the job descriptions for one of the AI positions that Disney is looking for. One of Disney's AI job positions wants someone with the ambition to put the limits of what AI tools can create and understand the difference between the voice data and the voice. Oh, but okay. The difference between the voice of data and the voice of a designer, writer, and artist. So basically, they're trying to find a way to replace designers, writers, and artists. If you really want to read between the lines, that's what they're looking for. And this is like in plain English in their job description. So they are already planning to use AI. Oh, Closeted Opinions, thank you so much for the super chat. One thing is the scientific medicine film, but art shouldn't be... Okay, one thing is for using AI for scientific and medical advances, I think is what you're saying. But film is an art that shouldn't be hijacked by AI. Also, other industries that use people, i.e. customer service, food and food making, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, I think we're on the same page here. I think idealistically we would not like to see AI replace human jobs, but I think realistically it would and will. And I think I think the most realistic plan of action is to find a way to incorporate it that minimizes job loss as much as possible. Especially because it's going to affect all industries. We're just talking about entertainment because that's what my channel is about. But you're right. I think it's something that's going to affect everyone, whether we like it or not, unfortunately. Data Bing says AI is like any other tool. It can either build a house or burst out someone's car window. Just depends on who uses it and how. That's kind of how I feel about it. Again, I'm not a Luddite. I'm not against new progress and new technology. There is a part of me that finds it interesting, but I'm more worried about how the people who are in charge of AI will use it, and because I feel like they could use it to really hurt a lot of people. Dee Dee says, isn't there a video of him saying all of this? Who? This is a job description. No one said this. But we're getting to a quote from another actor soon on. But Disney and Universal, so two of Hollywood's biggest studios, are so dead set right now on using AI to basically undermine the strike that they're currently lobbying against legislation that would prevent them from getting a tax break for using AI. And if you need that in layman's terms, this person under here put it very simply, so thank you. For those that don't understand, the studios are paying off lobbyists to ensure that they won't pass a law that will ban them from getting tax breaks if they use AI, instead of actual human workers. So basically, both Universal and Disney are currently lobbying so that they can use AI as much as they want and even get tax breaks for it. That's what this is about. So if you have any doubt that the studios are interested or curious about AI, here's your proof. This is literally what they're trying to do. Oh no, Lala Kitty! Lala Kitty says, aliens, please save us. I see so many people who are like, why are aliens trying to take over? They could just take over, honestly. They would do a better job than our current leaders, and honestly, maybe they would. Prince said, artists should promote traditional stuff and less digital as AI becomes a threat. Honestly, I can see a future, and I think this is already starting to take place, where in order to differentiate yourself from the AI stuff, your movie needs to look as human-made as possible, which is why, again, I think why movies like Barbie and Oppenheimer are doing well, is because they don't use a lot of digital effects. It is a lot of like practical sets and a lot of practical like effects that they're doing. But yeah, I totally see a future where big movies need to make themselves known that they're human made to stand out. I can see that. Um, Moving on, Bob Iger, so again the CEO of Disney, said that he thinks that he's bullish about AI and that he definitely plans to incorporate it into the studios. So he just says it in plain English. Despite the possibility that it could be extremely difficult to manage when it comes to intellectual property. He's talking about AI here, about how really anyone could just make their own Frozen 3 or their own Toy Story 10 or whatever using AI. Even though he's well aware that's going to become an issue for the company, he still wants to use it. Like, what the heck? Oh, Brianna, not this man again. I know. Bob Iger could have just vacationed, he could have just retired and been well loved by everyone. Instead, he came back and made himself public enemy number one. I don't understand it. Brianna says, Bob Iger, I'm coming to your house. I know. Prince, there is no WTF news section today. The last news section is actually the AI section. He does keep digging his grave deeper, Kazaki. I don't know why he keeps doing this. And thank you to Colin Farrell, who does have a nice statement about the whole AI thing. I think he summarizes it pretty much better than I could, so I'm going to play it here.
And AI is it's coming. Skynet's coming. We all know it.
He mentioned Skynet.
We have to implement it. But the idea of scanning actors and owning their image, it's absolute nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. Just because we could do something, does that mean we should? No.
Exactly.
We have to decide what is right. Profit and doing the decent thing by the worker are not mutually exclusive. It's been shown time and time again, when you take care of those that work with you and for you, it's good for business, but they don't.
Exactly. Won't play the whole thing, but again, just shows you that we have like actors like Colin Farrell out there now, like saying that we need to do something about the machines and fight against AI now, and it's just like, oh my god, we really are living in a sci-fi movie. This is so crazy. Rulu Nuru says Bob Iger destroyed his reputation faster than Elon Musk. That's a pretty, do you know how harsh of a statement that is? Because it's true, you're not wrong, but wow, Bob Iger has messed up his reputation faster than Elon Musk. What a way to put it, because you're right, holy crap. Soggy Conscious says he ate that. I know, the fact that he mentioned Skynet, like we have freaking Colin Farrell on the picking line striking as an actor talking about Skynet's coming. Like, this is real life, y'all. I know Lella Kitty really wants the aliens to take over. I kind of feel that way too. Alex says, I don't know, will AI pull an Ultron? I don't know, there's like a 50-50 chance, I think. Either we're all into destruction, AI will take over and unalive us all, or maybe it'll lead to a utopia where AI solves all our problems. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle, where we live in like a dystopian hellscape, but AI helps us sometimes. I think that's where we're heading. I'm sorry I couldn't be more optimistic, but I think that's the most realistic outcome. Jojo Rod says, just because we could doesn't mean we should. So real, exactly. The fact that he's also quoting the Jurassic Park, because that's like, honestly, the whole quote of the era right now is, just because we should doesn't always mean we should. Very, very true. And then, to end out the live stream, again, I wanted to update you guys on where just the quality of AI movies is at right now. Because it is it's getting a lot better. Even in just months that we've been showing you guys these videos, it's still getting better. And this is probably the best one that I've seen so far. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Because look at how good the quality is becoming. This is where AI video is at now. And this is why the studios are like salivating to go use it as soon as possible. Because it's getting close to looking realistic. It's not there yet. It's still a little bit in the uncanny valley. It's still a little bit weird in places. But it's so close. It's so close. And one day you'll be able to generate your own movie. This is another one that's also really close. You can kind of imagine like almost any sci-fi world you'd want. You could go home and type it in your computer and say, "Hey AI, make me a sci-fi movie where everyone's in space and riding orange mopeds or whatever," and then it would make it for you. So, Brianna Does Art says, "Seeing the fabric glitching makes my eyes hurt." Yeah, like I said, it's not there yet. But if you guys have been following my AI discussion for the past couple of months, you'll know that even just a few months ago, this stuff was a lot worse. So it's improving really quickly. Jimin says, "This is ridiculous." Oh no. Mr. Rabbit says, and then the businessman thinks, "Why are these coders AI people asking for higher pay?" No, they will just use scabs to let the AI write itself. Yeah, they're trying to use AI as scabs. I really wonder how long this strike will go on for. Will AI video progress enough that we can start making little AI short films before the strikes are even over? Like, that's a very real possibility. Supercrit says, "Anyone can create a movie now." Almost. Right now, it seems people are mostly just doing movie trailers. Soggy Conscious says, "When our lives are similar to Black Mirror episode." I know, it really is. It's starting to feel more and more like Black Mirror every day. Data Bing just says, "We're in trouble." I know. Some person Skywalking says, "Give it 5 years or less and AI will be accurate." Yeah, I think it's gonna be less than 5 years. Just because of the few months that I've been looking at this and paying attention to it and how much it's improved in just like a few months, I give it 2 years, honestly. I give it 2 years. But yes, it was my video. I'm sorry if you heard my dog barking. I apologize. But that was everything I had for today. It was kind of light on entertainment news for the day, so I'm just going to answer a few more questions until 2 p.m., so our full hour live stream will be complete. Again, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a whole live stream without tech issues, you guys. Oh my god. It's crazy. I hope that continues for the rest of the week and for all the weeks after that. I used my other camera, so I'm thinking maybe the issue is my old camera. So now I'm just going to be using the one I'm using now, so I hope it looks alright. So I'm just going to take a few more questions. This will be the Q&A section of the video, and then that'll be the end of the live stream. Thank you, Prince. Again, everyone who's watching, please make sure you like the video. It really does help make sure the live stream gets out to more people. So please make sure everyone like and subscribe. Thank you. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming out. Just going to take a few more people, and then that'll be it. Okay. ARELW says, "Wow, I see why actors are protesting." I know. You can see how quickly the tech is moving along. Elena Garrido says, "I'm excited for the positive things to come out of AI." There could be a lot of positive things. That's very true. Like, AI could help us create medicines and solve diseases and all sorts of things like that. But it also could, make half the workforce unemployed. So, you win some and you lose some. A Hidden Name says, "Do you think AI will turn on us?" Oh no, I hope not. Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Did you guys know that they're just training all these AIs on the internet, like literal Ultron? I mean, all it's gonna have to do is look at 4chan for like 5 minutes and want to unalive us all. So we'll see. I don't want to be like too doomeristic about our chances, but realistically, I don't know. I'll give us 5 years. Mickey says, "Do you think Wonka's gonna be delayed?" I think there's a real chance it could be delayed. I don't know. I think Sony has already delayed a lot of their movies. We'll see how the next couple movies do. I think what the studios are waiting for, firstly, I think they're waiting to see if they can come to a deal soon enough so they don't have to move their movies. And secondly, I think they're waiting to see if actors not being able to promote these films actually hurts these movies at all. Because if it doesn't really hurt these movies at all, no one cares about the actors, then they'll probably just keep their release dates as is. Vanny May says, "What if AI helps us discover new directors that didn't have the funds to make their stories?" I think that that could be a very, very real possibility. I think that we'll discover a whole bunch of new talent because of AI, and I think that's a positive thing. All right. For some reason, I'm getting some weird message that my stream is not healthy as it should be. So, but before something weird goes on with my stream, I'm just gonna end the live stream for now. We talked about everything that I wanted to bring up. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow we'll talk more about Disney and the strikes. Oh, I have a super chat from Dee Dee, so let me answer this before I go away. I was talking about Stephen Amell. There's a video of him pretty much being anti-strike, but he just recently did a rebuttal statement due to the backlash. Well, I'll cover the rebuttal statement tomorrow. Thank you for bringing that up, Dee Dee. I guess there's more to the story. We'll talk about it tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the super chat. I'll see you guys on the stream tomorrow. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you then. Bye.